Hey guys, welcome back to Confirm It RM YouTube channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day getting yourselves back in to our two main technicals video looking at XRP. So, obviously, see, we got ourselves another little run up here on Tuesday, getting ourselves straight up here to around that 55 and 1/10. You know, just kind of just wicking itself back above that 54 cents and 7/10. You know, another retest from the day on Friday on the 29th. Now here, on Tuesday the 3rd. But we want to come back down, hitting the bottom of our trend here, the one that we were talking about earlier in the week over here on the 28th, same thing over here on the 25th, come right back down to that support. So that was kind of cool to see. But nonetheless, guys, what we're seeing right now is a gradual retracement back down. We couldn't get back above it. Unfortunately, we exhausted ourselves on the 1 hour here. You can see it got up here to around the 78 after hitting up here around a 88. So unfortunately, turning itself a little bearish. But what we're going to be seeing now, grab ourselves a nice little trend line, go across the top just like this. You can do it just like that. You also grab the bottom side like this, just go just like that. And you can see it coming into a little pennant. What you'd be seeing is literally just the same exact kind of pattern again. It's getting itself right back up there to 54 and 7/10. Or you're going to wind up seeing it come right back down to the bottom of this trend, literally hitting right there around that 50 and 1.5 cents if it does wind up falling again. But you see in the grand scheme of things, still setting up for a higher low. Nice to see nonetheless. So what I would like to see in that future, depending on how that works, is if we're able to actually kind of negate into this region, you would actually see some sort of move by, let's see what date this would be, October 7th into the weekend. Again, getting another retest, even if it were to fall back down to this bottom side here and retest and wick and then come back into these moving averages, you would still see a wick back up there to around 55 cents regardless. But it is getting a little tipsy, though, having two retests at the top of a trend here and getting rejected, especially here at 52.9, 53 cents. Typically, seeing a double tap like this, it kind of results in a back test. So I'm definitely on par with that at the moment and watching for that to happen. So if we were to zoom out here on a 4 hour, you can see that same kind of formation starting to happen. But it's not as a sharp, gradual rebound. So at least how I look at it, and on the hourly, is that it does have to kind of come back a little bit. It's kind of stagnate and go sideways. If you look at it here on the 4 hour, we're sitting here at a 56, a little bit overbought, but not crazily. We have a little bit of room to come back and to blast off from if we really needed to. So, in my own thought process, in my own narrative, what I would even go based off of would be we're able to kind of hold in this region and hold even above 51.5 if we actually decide to go back to 52.5, hold in this region and get ourselves a push. Because if we were to use the 4 hour candles, it could come down to 52.7. We're sitting here at 52.9. Obviously, I guess it could wick. Our worst case scenario for even a bullish situation would be like this, holding right here above the 20-day moving average, which would be down here around 52.5, which is exactly that one region. So if we're going to get some sort of retracement and push upwards, the 4 hour RSI is telling us we have a little bit of retracement to come in, hit that 20-day moving average, and then by Friday, we get that large move. We get this move right here, and it comes right back to hitting that same region of around that 54 and 8/10, and then from there we just kind of stairs up, and now we're going to get there for the third time, and then now we would see that blow off and throw up there to around that 57 cent region. We didn't go crazily overbought here. We got it to a 75? We've seen a lot higher than that. A little bit of a pop up, and then a gradual just, throw out of there. But in my scenario on how I'm going to play this region is I'm going to look at basically just this, how I've laid it out here, is I'm going to look at, this is my first basis line, and looking at that 50-day moving average sitting there around 52.3, 52.4. It's a little bit below 52.5, but that would be like my first kind of region. And then you have your kind of your second fail safe there around that 51.9, and then you have the bottom of the trend, which is sitting there around 51 cents. And and that's still in the uptrend, and that's still pushing to the upside. So in the latest, you're seeing some sort of movement of getting up here to that 54-cent region. Is by mid to late October, we're still pushing upwards. So in that bearish scenario, you can see right here we get to that top of that ceiling by October 23rd. So even if we ping pong in this region, you're still just going to be trending higher, and just staying within this. It's a heavy resistance. He's sitting over here August 29th, hitting over here on August 20th. So it's just a high contingency region at this point. So you guys see how I'm looking at it. You guys see how I'm going about it. You can see how on a long period that 51.5 is still above the 786 on this period, and on a longer period 53 is definitely a good notion to get it pushed up there to that 57 region. So once we start to see good positive closures above 53, it has the capacity to really push itself towards that 55 and the 57 region, but we need to start seeing that start to come out of formation, start happening in the next I would say day and a half, 2 days. You'd start to get that formation and get that blow up to the other side. If we were to actually draw, you'd want to see it come, I would say, a little bit down further and then start to actually maneuver, and then you want to get that retest above, get a candle close above this 1618, and then we can get that push to the upside if we want to move like that. But it could draw it out, and it could be a couple days and then follow this other lower, slower, and just more gradual uptrend. But that's just how I see it. So these are both the scenarios. That's why I'm going to zoom out and just give it to you like this. This is exactly how I'm playing my book. But hope you guys are having a good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I appreciate every single one of you. Remember, none of it's financial advice, just my personal opinion. Just what I think is going on in the crypto world and my thoughts on XRP at the moment. You remember, none of it is financial advice. Like I said, my own opinion. And just use your head. Just what makes sense to you with what's going on, and go from there. Use your convictions and the knowledge that you've learned over the past year of trading, and what sentiment brings and what sentiment lies. But all right, guys, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.